Believe it or not, before the Trump era in 2015, 2016, when President Trump, then candidate Trump, made it his primary political objective to stop the inflow of criminal invaders, also known as the illegal aliens, into our country, even the Democrat Party, run by a communist Muslim, did have reasonable immigration policies. This from the vault from back in 2010.
There are those in the immigrants' rights community who have argued passionately that we should simply provide those who are illegally with legal status, or at least ignore the laws on the books and put an end to deportation until we have better laws.
Which is the primary policy of the Democrat Party today, of course.
And often this argument is framed in moral terms. Why should we punish people who are just trying to earn a living? I recognize the sense of compassion that drives this argument. But I believe such an indiscriminate approach would be both unwise and unfair. It would suggest to those thinking about coming here illegally that there will be no repercussions for such a decision. And this could lead to a surge in more illegal immigration.
As it did, as the Biden-Harris administration welcomed and called for. Remember that one?
I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
And then, of course, we don't verify their claims. They've been given handouts and talking points by the NGOs to just claim that they're here for asylum, they're seeking asylum, and then they're given a court date a decade in the future that they don't even bother showing up for. Here's Hillary Clinton in 2015, shortly before Trump derangement syndrome emerged, talking about how the sanctuary city plans backfired, and she still apparently had some remnants of a soul in her and regretted supporting those policies.
Last week, an undocumented immigrant who had been deported 5 times killed a 32-year-old woman, Kate Steinle, in San Francisco, a sanctuary city where local law enforcement does not enforce federal immigration laws. When you last ran for president, you supported sanctuary cities. In light of this terrible incident, does that change anything about your view on this?
Well, what should be done is any city should listen to the Department of Homeland Security, which, as I understand it, urged them to deport this man again after he got out of prison another time.
This is exactly what ICE is doing in Minnesota and across the country. They're not rounding up random illegal aliens, which, I mean, in a perfect world would be happening as well, and we would see caravans of prison buses taking them south to the border every day down every major freeway. As far as the eye could see, they're only finding the ones who have committed other crimes. And by the way, if you do the math, about 1 out of 10 people now living in the United States is an illegal alien. Think about that.
You know, here's a case where we've deported.
And by the way, if we deport somebody and then they come back and we catch them again, like we did with the killer of Kate Steinle 5 times, shouldn't we sentence them to the electric chair?
Here's a case where we've deported. He ends back up in our country, and I think the city made a mistake. The city made a mistake not to deport someone that the federal government
not to turn him over to ICE.
Strongly felt should be deported. So I have absolutely no support for a city that ignores the strong evidence that should be acted on.
Well. I mean, what's next? Is the old Hillary Clinton going to say that we should even be rounding up and deporting the children of illegal aliens? Oh, wait, what's this? It's Hillary Clinton on MSNBC in 2014.
As we're seeing these thousands of children come across, shunted off into makeshift shelters.
It's horrible.
Hard choice. Let them stay in the United States or send them back?
Well, 2 quick points. One, the numbers are increasing dramatically. And the main reason
is we've been too nice. We've treated illegal aliens way too nice. Electric chair.
I believe why that's happening is that the violence in certain of those Central American countries is increasing dramatically.
Should they be sent back?
Well, first of all, we have to provide the best emergency care we can provide. We have children 5 and 6 years old who have come up from Central America. We need to do more
to stop them from even getting close to our border. They can stay in Mexico. They can go to one of their neighboring countries. They don't need to come here.
To provide border security in southern Mexico.
They should be sent back now.
Well, they should be sent back as soon as it can be determined who responsible adults and their families are, because there are concerns about whether all of them can be sent back. But I think all of them who can be should be reunited with their families. And just as Vice President Biden is arguing today in Central America, we've got to do more. I started this when
to stop them from coming. So Hillary Clinton in 2014 said to deport the children, the illegal alien children. But that was then, and this is now, where CNN is giving airtime to one of the local Minnesota members of the resistance fighting against ICE, wearing one of those pink pussy hats.
I understand that, but they take people to Fort Snelling here, which literally was built as a concentration camp, and Alligator Alcatraz, which is
awesome. By the way, you can get your Alligator Alcatraz t-shirts from my online store, markdice.com.
We can all agree is a concentration camp. Not saying they're Dachau. I'm not saying they're putting people in ovens yet, but these are concentration camps.
Okay.
I don't need to argue with you about that.
That's even too much for Jake Tapeworm. And it was just last summer that CNN reluctantly reported that the majority of Americans want all illegal aliens rounded up and deported. Not just the ones who've committed other crimes, all of them.
Yeah, sometimes I like blunt questions because they sort of get at the
all 30 plus million of them, by the way. Not to mention their anchor babies as well, who should have their citizenship revoked and also expelled.
underlying feelings that people have. So this is about as blunt a question as you can get. Deport all immigrants here illegally. I will note the ABC News poll asked about undocumented immigrants. So we have slightly different questions, but these were all taken within the last month. And there's real uniformity here. That's what I really think you see. You see real uniformity. Deport all immigrants who are here illegally. 55% of the New York Times. Marquette, 64%. CBS News, 57%. ABC News with a slightly different question, 56%. So what you're seeing essentially here is a very clear indication that a majority of Americans, in fact, when they're asked this blunt question, which I believe gets at the underlying feelings, do in fact want to deport all immigrants who are here illegally. There's no arguing with these different numbers because they're all essentially the same across 4 different pollsters.
But the celebrities are the ones who are affected most. Here's Natalie Portman, whose real name is Natalie Hirschlag, a dual citizen of Israel, by the way.
Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional because it's really been, it's such a horrible day. It's been a horrible
If you're watching on your phone, she literally has tears in her eyes.
week. And
I think I do too. Tears of joy. Cry more.
but what is happening in our country is just obscene, and what Trump and Kristi Noem and ICE are doing to our citizens is, and
they're not citizens.
To undocumented people is outrageous and needs to end. And
maybe we should send them all to Israel. I mean, after all, diversity is a strength, right? I'm sad to report that Edward Norton has also come down with stage 4 Trump derangement syndrome. I haven't seen him being very politically active at all. I thought, was just an actor, not a activist, but here he is.
These are not normal times, and it's like we have extrajudicial like assaults on Americans and humans going on a daily basis now. And
no, we have psychos assaulting and attacking ICE agents and resisting arrest. The latest one was armed. F around and find out. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Pick your analogy, but then maybe just stop doing that.
And it's not okay. And even though all people kind of have to put one foot in front of the other and deal with the demands of the day, we cannot act like this is not happening.
It's not happening fast enough. The deportations. We need more.
I think, Like, I think what they're doing in Minnesota with the strike needs to expand. I think we should be talking about a national general economic strike until this is over and stopped.
So he wants people to stop going to work in order to protest ICE rounding up and arresting illegal aliens who have committed other violent crimes. The situation in Minnesota is bringing out all the crazies on social media. I'll spare you most of the cringe, but here are just 2 examples.
I just searched for a bulletproof vest. I spent a year wearing one in Baghdad. And here I am 25 years later, searching for one.
Because you're delusional. The only reason you would be put in danger is if you, like that moron, attacked, resisted arrests, and continued to assault federal officers. But this guy takes the cake. This is the biggest wannabe leader of Antifa that we've ever seen.
I am at the back of the march.
Just wait for it.
I've got gas masks for anybody that's still trying to get them. I am at the very back behind the marshals.
So he's been getting donations on TikTok to buy equipment to provide material support for the terrorists.
Following the crowd, if you are...
And yes, you are hearing something strange in his voice, which manifests itself like this.
I do this all year, all the time.
We're not surprised at all.
I'm out and about like this because I do it for me all year.
Of course you do. Meanwhile, with all this turmoil going on in the United States, what also isn't a surprise is Ted Cruz is extremely concerned about Israel. There's another big conference going on over there, and so he was a guest speaker and appeared virtually to say this.
A decade ago, we saw anti-Semitism begin to rise on the left in America. And now, it's consumed the Democrat Party.
It has not consumed the Democrat Party. Destroying the United States has consumed the Democrat Party. Turning America into a communist country, flooding us with countless illegal aliens, consumes the Democrat Party. Most of them don't care about what's happening over in a foreign country either.
There is a tangible, dangerous anti-Semitic contingent on the right that is gaining traction, gaining popularity, being listened to by young people, and gaining attention.
It's called noticing, sir, which dramatically increased because Elon Musk loosened the rules over on Twitter, on X, and stopped censoring people for, well, noticing certain things, certain patterns, and making certain criticism, and asking certain questions about Israel and, well, other things.
People say Jews are too powerful, we're too strong, we're too rich, we control the media, we have too much this, we have too much that. And we often apologetically deny our strength and our power. Don't do that. Don't do that. We have earned the right to influence public debate. We have earned the right to be heard. We have contributed disproportionately to the success of this country. Never, ever apologize for using our strength and our influence.
Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault.
But after TikTok was forced to be sold from their Chinese owners to American interests, not because of the toxic gender bending that they had been poisoning American culture with, but because a certain group of people said that there was too much criticism of Israel over there, and so then they clamped down on supposed anti-Semitic content. Here's the new CEO explaining one of their policies.
We made a change to designate the use of the term Zionist as a proxy for a protected attribute as hate speech. So if somebody were to use Zionist, of course you can use it in the sense of you're a proud Zionist, but if you're using it in the context of degrading somebody, calling somebody a Zionist as a dirty name, then that gets designated as hate speech.
So they've turned it into like the Jewish N-word, where it could only be used by a certain group of people in a certain context now. But we could talk about Ted Cruz's favorite country another time. If you enjoy watching my videos and you want to support my work, then just buy me a coffee by clicking the link in the description below. It's a great service to tip your favorite content creators. It's a way to figuratively buy them a coffee by just giving a tip of like $5 or so. Much better than leaving a super thanks or a super chat because YouTube takes 30% right off the top. So click the link in the description below, head on over there and check it out.